you need to just make sure that you take your time, you read page by page, unit by unit. So you have 6 units with 6 sections. So that means you have 36 sections that you need to read. So you have to calculate your time, how many minutes per each section. So throughout the semester, you have 36 sections. Some are very few sections, some are a bit large sections. So it's up to you to determine how you are pushing your timetable and study. So you need to, by now, you should have your timetable for the semester, personal learning timetable for the semester. So it will guide you to study. It will guide you to study. Don't just place the models there. And once you are interested in one, you pick and study. You need to have your models in place in your personal learning timetable so that it will guide you to study. It will guide you to study. Okay. So that is by the way the introduction part of what you're going to do. So my name is Dr. Eric Gonu. So senior lecturer at the Department of Marketing and Supply Chain, School of Business, University of Cape Coast. So I'll be your course lecturer, international business for this semester. So once we are done with the first part, you write quiz, and the other part you do presentation. So you should be preparing for your presentation as well, how you prepare your slides and how you do your presentation. So I know you've been doing presentation from level 100 to 200. So now you are familiar with how you do your presentation. So just encourage yourselves and just relax. If you have any question along the line, you can ask whilst the class goes on. I hope that is fine.
Yes, please.
Okay. Any other question? Any other question, please? Any other question? Any other question? Please, you can ask your question before we start class.
Hello, sir.
Yes, madam.
Please, the model, is it the same as the textbook we were given?
Yes, the model is the same thing. The short copies
Oh, okay. Okay.
is the same thing.
Okay. All
Have
right.
you downloaded it?
No, that one we were given in the center, KTI.
So you
Kumasi.
give me you'll be giving the hard copies.
Yes, they were
Oh,
not
okay.
all books. Not all books. I got
Okay.
two. The
Okay.
rest you have to. Yeah.
Download them. Okay.
Yes.
So the international video have the hard copy.
Yes.
It's it. You say how is it? I got it yesterday, so I've not even
No,
started.
I said, have you gotten the hard copy, the printed
Yes.
one? Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
please.
That's
Yeah.
fine. That's fine.
Okay. Okay.
It's just a small book, eh? Just a small book.
Yes. Yes.
Mm.
Mm,
But the content is tough, so you don't look at it as a
yes.
small book.
Okay.
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 Mm.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Any other question? Any other question? Okay. Okay. So if there are no other questions, I want to. So if you look at the model, if you look at the model, it has been divided into units and sections. It has been divided into units and sections. So this morning you're going to look at our unit 1 of that particular model. That's what you're going to discuss this morning. So I want to see whether
Hello.
Yes, I'm coming. I take your time. I'm coming. Okay.
Okay.
I'm coming. Okay. Please, can you see my slides now?
Yes,
Yeah, I
sir.
can see international business.
Okay. So, good morning once again for our class. Our presentation for this morning, the first part, we are looking at these outlines. We're looking at this outline. So, we'll be looking at definition of international business. We'll look at the difference between international and domestic business. Then we'll conclude by looking at why and how businesses enter into foreign market. Why businesses enter into foreign market. Now, before I start, can we identify some items that we are enjoying here, that we produce here in Ghana, and those that we also enjoy here that are not produced here in Ghana? And if you can indicate its country of origin, I'll be very grateful, just briefly. So I just need some 5 items that we enjoy here that is not produced in this country, but it comes from a different country. So can you quickly tell me that particular product?
Most of electrical gadgets.
So you can mention a particular brand, then.
Let's say Samsung from Japan.
Okay. So which type of Samsung are you talking about? Which product Samsung?
Samsung TVs.
Okay. Samsung TV. Okay, that's fine. Is it from Japan, right? Hello, you say it's from Japan, right?
Fruit Apple.
You say?
We can also talk about Apple, a fruit
Okay.
Apple, also
Okay.
from South Africa.
It's from where? Yes, it says from where?
South Africa.
Okay.
I was thinking a car
Uh-huh.
from USA.
Which car?
Ford.
Okay. 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 Ford from USA. Then the last one.
Sir,
Yeah,
rice.
rice.
Those
We can also talk of BMW from BMW.
Okay,
rice
rice.
from Thailand.
Which type of rice? So I say all rice are from Thailand.
Yeah, we have basmati rice from Thailand or Vietnam. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. So thank you so much for your contribution. You fall down well. So realize that these items that we just mentioned, they are items that we just enjoy from different origins or different country of origin, from different countries of origin. Now, if you look at these items, they move from one continent to a different continent because China is an Asia continent, or China is located within Asia. America is in North America. We have Japan also within those particular areas. We have items from Europe, items from South America, items from Caribbean. So all these things are items we enjoy from different countries. So the moment the items they cross frontiers, they cross seas, they cross rivers, they cross boundaries. Any organization that's involved in those transactions, that is an international company. So once it cross borders, we are saying that that company becomes international, but the company deals in what we call international business. So once you are sending your items across borders, you are deemed to be practicing international business activity. So now let's look at, please, please mute yourself. And somebody's business starting the class. Please mute yourself. Please mute yourself. Hello, please mute yourself. Please, who is having a class and still working at the kitchen or something? Mute yourself, please.
Max.
Please mute yourself.
Hello, sir.
I said mute yourself. Everybody should mute him or herself. Okay, let's go. So we are saying that international business refers to the buying and selling and trading of goods and services across national frontiers. So once you involve buying and selling of goods and services, and you know what are goods, we know what are services. Goods are the tangible items that we can touch, feel, and use and consume to satisfy our needs and wants. So like the TV, the cars you mentioned, the rice, those things are all goods because they are things that we can hold, they are tangible items. But services are performances that we enjoy. And you know, we can also send our performances across the frontiers of different countries. Like banking services is something we enjoy. We don't hold banking service. Hospitality, like hotel services that we enjoy. So if you have a company like Golden Tulip, now Lancaster University, Lancaster Hotel, they are not from here, but they are providing services for us to enjoy. You go to airline provides services. If you have Emirates, you have Kenya Airways, you have South African Airways, you have Ethiopian Airline. So these are all companies that provide services and they cross borders. So South African Airline comes to Ghana, provides services, goes back to South Africa. So these are companies that moves goods and services across frontiers of borders. And the moment a company does this, you say you involve international business activities. Now we are seeing that technology and relaxed political barriers or political restrictions has made it possible for companies to sell their product overseas as well as at home. So now you can be in Ghana here, shop from China, items will be shipped to you from South Africa, from US, from anywhere because of advance in technology. And political barriers have been relaxed. It has been relaxed. So now we are seeing the world as a global village where most political restrictions on business or trade has been relaxed. That's why you can be here. You can buy items that allows cross-border trade. Even though you can source, it's not every item that you can buy online. It's not every item that you can move from one country to another, especially in arms like this. You can't just be a business and you can trade in arms, but you need to be registered so that your bag and everything is checked before. But there are certain countries you can. There are certain countries, certain churches are not even allowed to even start there. And some years back, even in Ghana here, some churches were banned not to operate because some will use in the name of humanitarian aid, then they'll be smuggling arms into different countries. So there are some political barriers that affect, but now most of them have been relaxed. Most of them have been relaxed. I said, and there's difference among nations continue to narrow. Like I said, globalization is making the whole continent one society. That's why it can be here you sort items. So these things are things that are driving international business. These are things that are driving international business. Now let's look at some of the transactions. Like I spoke about transaction earlier on. So what are some of the transactions that we can deem form part of international business? So we have some international business transactions. So if you find yourself in any of these, you are involved in international business transactions. So international business transactions will normally include some of the underlisted activities. One, transaction primary products such as minerals, oil, cocoa, or coffee. So for example, Ghana, we we do business in primary products, and your primary and secondary product. So primary like the raw minerals, oil, we have cocoa, we have coffee, and others. So once we extract our gold and we just send our gold to US or to South Africa, to UK, to other countries, Dubai in the raw form, it's also part of it because our activities are crossing the frontiers of our boundary. It's crossing the frontiers of our boundary. So in that form, we are saying that there's international business activities happening. So like cocoa, coffee, and other things, those are things that we do. We send them across the frontiers of our boundary. Then we have transactions in manufacture of semi-processed good for export or import. So we have transaction in semi-processed goods for export or import. So the moment we are involved in those import activities, that is also part of the international business activities. It's part of international business activities. So then we'll have the third part, which is the capital investment in extractive, manufacturing, communication, and transportation assets. So once capital investment, talking about you invest in building factories in those areas to manufacture, like we have let's say MTN to build infrastructure here in Ghana to undertake uh, uh, telecommunication activities. These are all capital investment activities. And the moment it happens, it means that the organization is involved in international business. The organization involved in international business. So these are some of the last one that we can discuss the international services. So you're talking about international. Earlier on, I mentioned international services. I talk about banking activities, advertising, construction, tourism, hotel industry, land and sea transport. So if you go to our port every day, we have vessels coming to dock at our port to provide us with goods and services. So these are the major transactions that we deem it as international business activities. These are the major transactions. The moment we involve ourselves in them, we deem it as international business activities. Okay. Any question so far? Any question or any contribution?
Yes, sir.
Yes, madam.
Yeah, this is Gloria. So,
Okay.
with the services, can we also add education now? Because I know Ghana, we have a bilateral and non-bilateral agreement with some of the countries that our students will go and learn there. And
Okay.
when they are done, they will come back to impact the country. But that's also a service. So if the country should give us a sponsorship or a student a sponsorship to come and study in their country, and when they are done, they come back to their country to come and implement whatever they've learned. That's also a service, right?
Yes, it's also a service.
Okay.
It's also a service. That's why I said that ETC, the other component, even providing security services are all part of
Mm-hmm.
services.
Yeah.
When we go
All
for
right.
peacekeeping, so once you go for peacekeeping, it's also part of service that we offer to other countries. So and so anything that we do domestically and we move it across the frontiers of our boundaries is deemed to be part of what international transaction. Okay. Any other question? Any other question? Any other question? Okay. Now let's look at a few definitions when it comes to international business. Let's look at a few definitions when it comes to international business. So we have one, global company. So a global company refers to a firm that attempts to standardize operations in all functional areas. So a global company, that the company is targeting the entire world with standardized operations in all functional areas, in HR, in marketing, in production. So it's one standard activities operations across the globe. Can you get me an example of a company who is involved in global company? At least we have about 6 continents or 7 continents. This country can be located in maybe 5 of them. That company can be deemed to be a global company. Can we name with standardized operations? So all the activities are almost the same, provide same standard of services, same standard of goods that we enjoy. Yes, any other, any example?
I was thinking KFC.
KFC.
Yes.
Okay, okay. KFC can be a global company. Okay. So they have
Coca
standardized. They have
Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola is also one. Okay, Coca-Cola too. They have standardized operations. Okay, any other?
Some of the China goods.
And now we are looking at companies. You're not
Oh,
looking at
okay.
these.
Okay.
Total energy.
Yes, any other?
Total energy.
Toyota.
Total energy. Okay, okay. So you think their operations are standardized?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's fine. Now let's look at the second terminology. You have foreign business. It's a foreign business. It's a domestic operation within a foreign country. So it's a domestic operation within a foreign country. So for example, Vortic is from Ghana here. Now if Vortic move its operation to, let's say, Burkina or Niger, Vortic become a foreign business. So it's a domestic operation within a foreign country. Then the third, on top of international business, it's a business whose activities cross national frontiers, include any definition of firms in the service industry and so those are what we just talked about. They are multi-domestic companies. So the multi-domestic companies applies to a company with affiliates in other countries. Each of the affiliates formulates its own business strategy depending on market difference perceived. So multi-domestic company applies to companies with affiliates. So we have subsidiaries in other foreign countries. However, their strategies and their business operations depends on the local market environment. So it is not like global company where they have standardized operations, but multi-domestic, they have affiliates, but they are not using standardized operations because they're looking at the differences within the country's market environment. Then they design strategies and operation to meet those design. Then the last one called international company. It can be a global or multi-domestic firms. So international company can be either a multi-domestic firms or a global company. So these are a few terminology that we need to understand when it comes to international business. Okay. Any questions so far? Any questions so far? Any question? Any question?
Hello, sir.
Yes, madam.
This is Dinah.
Okay.
Please, you said example of the foreign business
Mm-hmm.
or domestic operation within a country is what? Can you please give me one example?
Is that a sample of what?
The foreign business.
Mm-hmm. So what do you understand by foreign business?
like you said, they are domestic operation within a foreign
Foreign
within
country.
a foreign country.
Mhm. So even if you pick, let's say Zenith Bank, in Ghana here.
Okay,
Zenith Bank
it's from
From
Nigeria, right?
in
Nigeria.
Nigeria,
Okay.
but his domestic operation is in Ghana.
Oh, okay, okay.
Are you getting me?
Yes, please.
Uh-huh.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Okay.
But sir, please, how is it different from the multi-domestic?
So that's why we are saying that is that we are talking about the operations, not the company, the activities. So companies, it can be part of global, it can be part of multi-domestic. Zenith can also be part of multi-domestic companies. So it has branches, not only in Ghana, but in other African countries. We are looking at foreign business. They are kind of, like businesses not from our country here. Are you getting me? So we are looking at what is the meaning of foreign. Foreign is an entity that does not manage from the domestic environment. So the moment you are from a different country operating here, you are engaged in foreign business. Are you getting the idea?
Yeah.
No, see, you have to listen. Companies are different from activities. Companies are the entities. Then you're looking at foreign businesses. It's a domestic operations. The activities are what we call businesses. So if a company comes from, let's assume the Zenith Bank. Zenith Bank is from Nigeria. And they have operations here. They have business activities here. So that business activities is what we are terming as what foreign business.
Okay.
Are you getting me?
Yeah.
If let's assume China, EU Chinatown, are they not in Ghana here?
Yes.
Yes. So that particular business activity is deemed to be a foreign business because they're having an operations in Ghana here, but their origin is from China.
But it's sounding like the multi-domestic company. They
Yes.
said it.
So mhm,
They said it applies to a company with affiliates in
yes,
other countries.
yes. Yeah, the multi-domestic company. What is a company? Company is an entity that provides goods and services that are similar in nature to satisfy needs and wants of individual customers, right? That's the
Yes.
entity. But the activity, we're not talking about the company, we're talking about the activities
Okay.
and not the company.
Okay. Okay.
Are you
So,
getting?
sir,
Mhm. Yes.
I'm Rosina. So, sir,
Okay.
that can we say that multi-domestic is with them? No, they don't establish their company, but they connect with other companies within the other country to
Either you
work with.
connect,
While
either you connect.
while the
Mhm.
foreign one, they operate, they open their company within the foreign country. Is it? Can we say it that way?
Oh, it's not. You want to talk about affiliate like they have subsidiaries. They
Mhm.
can connect others. Even if you establish your subsidiary in other companies, it can also be determined by multi-domestic companies. Now, so the affiliate you're talking about, you have alliances either by yourself or with others. Are you okay?
Okay.
So we'll be looking at how you enter into an international uh, country for businesses. There is the operations that with foreign business, you're talking about the operations, not the company. So it's the activity that you perform that we are deeming to be part of international business or not international business.
So
So
let me give an example so you clarify it because they
okay,
are looking similar. Like Unilever, like this,
okay,
it's not from Ghana, but they have
okay,
their company here. So they
okay,
do things that aligns with us.
okay.
Is that it?
Unilever has branches all over.
Yes.
and they have standardized operations. Are
So
you
this,
getting me?
so we can we say that Unilever is a global company?
We can say it's a global because it cut across more than 2 continents.
Mm-hmm.
Unilever is a global company. Its business operation is foreign business because the
Yes.
origin of Unilever is not from Ghana. Are you getting the idea?
And it's an international business
It's
and it's a
international business.
multi-domestic.
Yes, yes. So we need to understand the terminologies. We are not looking at one company. So a one company can fall within any of these
Yeah.
categories because his activities are foreign business activities because its origin is not from Ghana here. Coca-Cola is same. Guinness Ghana is same.
Mm,
Are you getting me? That's
yeah.
what we are. So we are not looking at one company that is facing global, another company facing foreign business, another company facing international. No, the international business cut across all activities across borders. That's international business. We can have a company who will be global. Some companies are not global, like multi-domestic companies. Some companies can just be one continent. Let's say Africa or West Africa. They'll have branches in Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, and others. That companies become a multi-domestic companies because they don't form part of global. But their activities can be international activities because they are crossing frontiers. And their operations can be foreign business operation activities.
Yeah. I get it now.
Are you okay now?
Yes, please.
And we are saying that we have international companies. This international company can be part of global and multi-domestic firms. So that one, the Coca-Cola example can fit because it cut across different continents.
Yeah.
Apple example can fit because it cut across different continents. Apple is an international company, but they have branches in other countries, affiliates in other countries. Toyota Ghana
Toyota.
Toyota Ghana Limited can also Toyota International. It's a Japanese company, but they have branches in US, in Africa, in other continents. Are you okay with the terminology now? Okay. Can we go on?
Yes, please.
Now, so what are some of the differences between international business and domestic market? What's the difference? Because if you look at some transactions that can be deemed to be international business transactions, you also look at transactions that can be deemed to be domestic. Now, what makes it different? International be different from domestic. Is that the difference between international and domestic businesses arise from the simple fact that countries are different, and countries differ in culture. We differ in political systems. We differ in legal systems. We also differ in economic levels and economic development levels. We differ in mode of entry, and we differ in government restrictions and currencies. So these are the 6 major factors. These are the 6 major factors that differentiate international business market from domestic business market. These are the 6 different because culture, our way of life is different from another. If in Burkina, their way of their language, they are French speaking countries, we are English speaking country. So even in that form, their way of understanding things will be different from the way we understand things. Their political system is different because we are English and our heritage is aligned to, they say, UK. Burkina, Ivory Coast, they are aligned to the French, France. So there are certain countries, they have multi-party states, some have just 2-party states. So the political system, some are democratic country, some are military. So as we speak now, Burkina, Mali, Niger, they are not democratic political system that they are running. They are running the military system. So the political system is different from other countries, and their legal systems are also different. We have rules and regulations, and our rules and regulations, apart from the international standardized rules and regulations governing trade, other rules and regulations in different countries differ. So international business and domestic market, there are a lot of differences. And economic systems and level of economic development are not the same. Inflation systems may not be the same. Interest rate. We are talking about mode of entry. The way we can do business with other countries may might not be the same. Some they only prefer you come and build subsidiary in the country if you want to do business. They have to come and build subsidiary if you want to do business so that they can create more employment for their citizens. Some only say that don't come and build subsidiary, just bring your goods and come and sell and go. Some will say that come and build, you can also bring your goods. So there are different modes of entry when it comes to international business and domestic activities. And the last are government restrictions and currencies. Currencies are not the same. And because of that, it brings difference when it comes to international business transactions. Okay. Any question so far? Any question? Any question? Any question, please? Any question?
Sir, please touch more on the political system.
So what do you understand by the political system? By yourself, what do you understand?
The way the countries are run are different in terms of maybe who governs them or things like that.
So give us an example.
That's why I'm saying you should touch more on it because I didn't really get it.
You didn't
Sir,
get
please,
yes.
can I help here?
Yeah, Gloria, yes.
So a political system is like the way the country is being organized, like with power and leadership, and the way they make decisions. So in Ghana here, we are democratic countries, okay. And then when you go to UK, they do the monarchical style,
Political system, yes.
queens, kings by hereditary, like that.
Okay.
And we have countries like Russia. Is it? Yeah, they are authoritarian system, or they do the Yebesha also. We will tell you what to do, even in China, and they have those dictatorship style. It's
Okay.
different from other countries as well. So if you come to Ghana, the way we want you to do business with us, because we are a democratic country, will be different from when you go, someone is also taking their same company or business to Russia. It will be different. Even in Burkina Faso recently, you see, because of the style of government there,
That's political
or
dictatorship.
political system, yes, you see, you can't go and do any business. Recently we were asked, like last year, like this, we were asked, they told our government that whatever business we have with them, I think onions or something like
Union.
that, yeah, it should be seized for now until further notice. They don't want us to come do business with them for now. So you see, because there is a new leader, the way he wants to rule, the way he wants to do his things, he would determine how you run business in their country.
Okay.
So it has an effect, and that's
Mm.
one.
Okay. So in addition to what Gloria just said, you see, when you have democratic style of leadership or governance, you collect views from different angles before a decision is taken. Stephanie, please mute your mic. We are discussing the class. So before a decision is taken in democratic systems, so we have our three arms of government. You have the judiciary, you have the executive, and you have the legislature. That's the democratic system of government. So when the decision is going to be taken, consultations are done. Broad-based consultations are done before a decision. Even if a budget, if Ghana want to come out with a budget for the year, the finance minister, he does a lot of consultation because of the democratic political system that we are using. If it's the military political system type, like the authoritarian, the example that we are using, you just right, okay, now increase price of fuel 10%. Everybody challenges. You can't say
Hello,
anything.
sir.
Yes,
Hello, sir.
I can hear you.
Yeah, can I say political system is the way the country is being organized and do business. This
You said
does it fit?
that what?
Political system is the way the country is being organized and do their businesses.
It's
Does
not.
this
Business here is relative. It's not only business that falls under political systems. Like the
okay?
thing that you're talking about leadership and governance. The leadership and governance structure of a particular country is what we call the political system. So
Okay.
the governance, under the governance, that's where the business and other aspect comes under. But you can't entirely see the political system is the way leadership is divided and how we do business. No, the
Okay.
political system, it goes beyond just business. So the governance structure of the country, for which there are rules and regulations that govern business. That's why I said that there's like Nigeria is saying that last 4 years they came up with a legal system, government restriction, that they're not going to impose rights from any other country. They're going to develop their own rights. It is the political role
Okay.
that came up with the political government restrictions, and they develop a legal system. So there's restriction. So they were not importing, and now they are producing and they are exporting.
So your line is breaking. Intermediate.
It's not my line, please. It's your line. So check your connection. Okay, let's go on.
Okay.
Now let's look at some three major concepts when it comes to international business. It's a businesses operating across borders must contain three basic environmental forces. If you want to go into international business, send business across the frontiers of your country. These are three environmental forces that you need to fight. You need to fight the domestic force activities, the foreign, and the international. What does it mean? What it means is that when it comes to international business, you are already operating in a particular environment, like Ghana. Let's say Vortic is from Ghana. So Vortic need to fight the environmental forces within Ghana here. So we need to contend with inflation, Ghana's exchange rate, interest rate, business operations, political pressures, legal system, political system here in Ghana. That's the first one. So you need to meet those domestic standards, domestic environmental forces that are likely to affect your operations. When that is done, if Vortic want to go to, let's say, Nigeria, Vortic needs to also be thinking about Nigeria's environment. So their interest rate, their inflation, their unemployment rate, their exchange rate, their legal systems. So Vortic is thinking about Ghana, the environment, and its impact on its operations. Now I'm thinking about Nigeria, where he or she want to go, where she is operating, their environmental forces. Then Vortic needs to think about the third one, which is the international environmental activities around trade. So once you want to go international, you are faced with these three environmental forces. So the international, we are looking at international policies on trade. So what are the issues when it comes to international trade? So we have World Trade Organization, their rules and regulations. We have World Health Organization. So if what you are trading has net implication, you need to contend with World Health Organization, their rules and policies. If what you are dealing in has security issues, you need to also consider the world security policies. So it means that if you want to do international business, these are the three major environmental forces you need to contend with. You need to understand all this environment before you now start business. Otherwise, fine. You can have a bilateral agreement with Nigeria where you can be sending your goods to Nigeria and stuff. But your business activity might flout the World Trade Organization's policies. Okay. Any question? Any question before we
Hello,
go on?
Max.
Any-
Max, mute yourself. Max, mute yourself.
Any question so far? Any question? Any question so far? Any question? Yes, please, I'm waiting on your question. Okay.
Sir, please, if you can throw more light on it, please,
I should throw more light on what? Hey.
on the difference
Mhm.
between the international business and domestic
International business and domestic what?
markets. As in the way they've stated it, domestic, foreign, and international. If you can please explain
No,
again,
but
please.
that's what I just spoke about. You're looking at environmental. Did you do principle of marketing?
Yes, please.
So when you do principle of marketing, did you treat a topic called environmental forces?
Yes, please.
So in that
So
environmental forces,
doesn't it those one have to do with the domestic? The environmental first, they have to do with the domestic. That's what I'm trying to. I
yeah.
want to
So
understand.
domestic is talking about in within your operations, your operational environment,
Okay.
and foreign is outside the operations. The international is what governs the entire world.
Okay.
That's why I use the Vortic as example. So if Vortic is from Ghana, Vortic operations will be affected by Ghana's environment, business environmental forces. If Vortic want to go to Nigeria, and that is foreign,
Yeah.
because Nigeria becomes a foreign to Vortic. So we need to also consider Nigeria environment. Then also
Okay.
consider international environmental forces, the globe as an environment, that big environment.
Yeah.
So you don't just consider your environment as a Ghanaian company. You don't only consider Nigeria as a foreign country where you want to send, but you need to also consider the global environment, because whatever happens, when COVID came, COVID wasn't peculiar to, let's say, one country's environment, and COVID wasn't peculiar to but COVID came as a global environmental force that affected businesses. So it means that when you are thinking about going international, you need to be thinking about these environmental forces. So COVID, according to they said COVID came started China. So if it were just peculiar to China, why would UK, US, and other like Ghana, why were we worried? But it went beyond. So if you are thinking about international business, apart from you looking at, you have to also look at what governs the world trade environment. What are the forces? Because we have rules and regulations governing trade. So if you want to go to international trade or international business, there are rules within World Trade Organization that governs those particular activities. So you need to understand all those things and how it will affect your business operations. Then you can take strategies and decisions to resolve those ones. Are you okay?
Thank you. Yes, please. Thank you.
Okay, so sir, sir, from what I'm understanding, you are saying that if you are in Ghana, you have a business and you send it to US, you are doing a foreign kind of
Please, I'm not.
transaction.
That's not. It's a transaction. It's international business transaction. We are
Yes.
looking at we are looking at issues that are likely to affect your activities.
Okay, the
You're
issues
not
that will affect your activities,
looking.
if you are dealing with only Ghana and the US, you put it
Mhm.
under foreign.
No, listen.
So,
If you put Ghana and US, you are looking at forces that are likely to affect your operations. That you
so,
need to consider.
so Eric,
Where I'm coming, don't wait. That's hold
so,
on for. So you're looking at the environment within which you're operating. If you send your item to US, it's international business. Fair, fine. That's correct. However, you need to understand the business environment in US. That's what they're talking about, foreign business environment.
Okay.
yeah.
Are you getting me? You need to understand the business environment in US. So you need to also understand the business environment in Ghana. Now, aside you understand the business environment in US, the economic, political, social, culture, business environment, how it affects your operations. Now, you need to also understand what governs international trade globally. What are the issues? What are the forces that are likely to affect international trade? So here you need to also think about what are policies from World Bank when it comes to international business. That is the international. You look at international, so World Trade Organizations, things that governs our international trade globally. So what is World Bank saying when it comes to trade, especially when it comes to financial service transactions? What is IMF talking about? So what are the various activities that governs international trade? So if you're a company and want to do international business, you're not really thinking about my company, where I'm coming from, where I want to send my items only. Apart from you thinking about where I'm operating, where I want to send my items, you need to think about what are the global environments when it comes to international business. That's what I'm talking about.
I get
And
you. I just wanted a clarification on what will make a transaction between two countries become foreign, and what will classify some other transactions also to be international. But I think you have explained it.
okay, okay. Okay. Any other question? Any other questions? Now let's look at those environmental forces. So, like I said, in your class in marketing, there are you did what you call forces, where we have controllable and non-controllable environmental forces. So we just deem that in all these activities, you have internal forces which are said to be the controllable for because management has some command over them, like your raw materials, your capital, your people, and the functions or activities of the organization. So these are controllable because you determine the kind of raw materials that you need to procure to manufacture your items. You determine how much financial I need to invest, who should employ when it comes to business activities, what kind of functional areas I need to create. So we are saying that in all this, you have control over them, and that gives you two things. It gives you a strength, or it gives you a weakness. If you have an upper hand in these areas, it gives you a strength. But if you have weaknesses in these areas, it gives you a weakness. So the effective control of the internal environment will help management to adapt to change in the external environment. So if you're very strong uh, strength when it comes to internals, it helps you to adapt to changes that occurs within an external environment where you don't have control. So we are saying that the external forces are also called uncontrollable forces. They are factors that management has no control over. Management can only lobby policymakers for change in laws affecting their businesses. So in our previous class, we know when it comes to legal systems, it comes to political, economic, you can't do so much. The only thing that you can lobby, maybe finance minister on economic issues, so that probably they can relax some of the taxes for you. You can go for tax waiver and those things. And you can only lobby. They can't instruct them because they control the economy and they determine the pace of business environment. So you can't just control the first one that have control, management have control over them. But the only thing you can do when it comes to external forces like technology, we have economical forces, societal culture. These things you can only lobby policymakers so that they can relax some of the policies so that it will help you do better. Okay. Any example or any contribution or any question?
And so, sir, please, I want to know.
Yes.
So that means um the environmental forces, which is the
Mm-hmm.
internal forces. So that one
Mm-hmm.
will be classified under domestic.
Come
If
again.
I'm right, I'm saying
Mm-hmm.
that the environmental forces, which is the internal forces and the external forces, does it mean that the internal ones stand for the domestic, whilst the external ones stand for international? Can we put it that way?
No, you can't. You can't. You can't. External is talking about things outside the domain of the
The
organization,
business.
but not from outside. We can Ghana's economic system here, our economy. So let's take Unilever for example. Unilever is in Ghana here, isn't it?
Yes, please.
So the internal forces for Unilever can be the raw material that they use for their activities, the money that they are investing in their business, the people that Unilever is employing to work with. Are you getting me?
Yes.
You know, Unilever will have control over the raw material, their their sources, how much they have to invest in it, and the people that they need to engage to work with.
Sure.
These are within their control. They have command over them. Are you getting me?
Yeah.
Then, if you look at the Ghana's economy, we are saying Unilever is in Ghana, but our economy indicators are they in the hands of Unilever management.
No, please.
So that terms as they are external forces. External forces here is not only talking about forces outside the domain of a country. It can be within, but it's just outside the domain of the company. That makes it external forces.
Okay.
Are you getting me?
Yes,
Then
it's
so
because of the international I saw there. I'm seeing as the topic, that's why I'm asking.
No, you are right. We can have international forces that's also outside the domain of the company. We
business.
can also have
Okay.
influence. So internal forces and external forces. The external forces can also be international forces that the company don't have. For example, you remember some years back, political system, they say, oh, the economy is being affected because of Russia-Ukraine war.
Yeah.
So if companies are being affected by Russia-Ukraine war, that can also be international environment that is affecting domestic because you don't have control over them.
Okay.
So the external forces can be domestic external forces. You can also have international forces that is outside
Okay.
the control.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Are you okay?
Yes, please.
Okay. Any other question? Any other question?
Hello,
Okay,
sir.
yes, sir, Joseph.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Sir, please, can labor be described as external forces?
In which form are you saying labor?
But under the external forces, according to the Bell and the Abo and
Mm-hmm.
McChain, the uncontrollable forces consist of the following,
Mm-hmm.
and he included labor.
Mm-hmm.
So, boss, I don't
So,
understand to clarify that for
so
us.
labor can be part if it's coming from a different country. Here we are looking at
Okay.
cost. We are looking at cost of labor, not just labor. If, for example, you as an organization, you are sourcing your labor, people that you engage in your operations, you don't source them domestically. They are from outside. Then you don't have control over the cost of labor. For example, we used to hear that China labor is cheap. That's why America normally go to China and get people to work for them. Are you getting me? In that case, if the dynamic changes and now labor in China begins to rise, you don't have control over it. So in that form, it can be served as an external force. So anything you don't have control, it depends on how you explain it. Will be a domestic or be international force that affect your business. But if the sourcing of your labor for your work is within your command, is your control, that can't be an external force, but it should be an internal force. But if you don't have control, so anything you don't have control. So assuming that you want to, in Ghana, we have labor laws that defines who we engage and how much we pay. And that determination is not done by government. not by individual company, but determined by government, it becomes an external force. That's why you have minimum wage. The minimum wage there is not determined by companies, but determined by government. So if there's so much pressure from government when it comes to minimum wage for laborers, it's likely to also affect you. You don't have control. So as when government increases now, every company is supposed to pay on daily basis, let's say 100 Ghana cedis. It's something that relates to labor. You don't have control over it. You can only lobby. So the government will not increase up to 100 Ghana cedis. So that's why they added labor as a component. But it depends on where you stand and how you explain the dimensions. That will make either internal force or external force. Are you okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let's look at further definitions when it comes to those items. So he talked about the ball and McCulloch, 1995, the uncontrollable forces. So competition is key. You see, competition in other form can be an internal, can be external. If you have control over competition, you determine the pace of competition. If you control the market share, competition can be an internal, it can be your strength. But if competition is far away from you, then competition becomes an external force because they are determining how you behave in the market. Then you have distribution activities. So all these things, if you have control over them, it becomes your strength. If you don't have control over them, it becomes external threat to you. So you have social culture, you have financial, and you have legal. So we've spoken about this once already. So let's move on. Then the next thing we need to also discuss is why and how businesses enter into foreign markets. Why and how businesses enter into foreign market. It's a why firms go international. Why firms go international. So for example, we are in Ghana here. Your business is doing fine. Let's say Nestle, they are doing very well. Why do you think Nestle will just decide that, oh, I want to go international? I want to send my items across borders. Or Zenith is doing well in Nigeria. Then why would Zenith just decide that let me come to Ghana? Or Stanbic, Stanchart, Barclays Bank. So they're all doing well. And they say, oh, now Barclays now Absa, Talo Oil. They all decide, oh, now let me go to. Why do you think companies would decide that I want to do my business across the frontiers of their boundaries? Yes, who supports the discussion? I need 5 points. Why do you think companies will want to go international?
Uh, yeah, please, this is Gloria again.
Okay.
So
And we are listening.
one is I know they've mentioned greater profits and stuff, but I will say to ease transportation transportation fees and stuff. Because if Unilever should be in US or in UK and then I want to use their product as a customer, to get it from there and bring it here will be very hectic because of the transportation. So with that, if they are able to bring it into my country, it will be easier for me to also purchase.
But
So
the transportation as a component of a reason, what is that reason behind they going maybe bringing the goods to Ghana? How would transportation be a reason?
to get the people to,
To reduce cost.
yes, course.
You said what? Is it no? Come again.
Reduce cost.
Reduce cost. So cost reduction.
Yes.
How can that reduce cost reduction? Because let's say Unilever is in Nigeria and they want to come to Ghana, and you see that it will reduce cost. Why? How?
I said to reduce cost on the side of the customer. Because if we have Unilever here in Ghana, and I went to US and then I want to buy their product, okay. There's no need for me to contact my relative at US to purchase and then DHL or maybe passing through EMS. I just go here in Ghana and then
Mm-hmm.
just buy my product. That's all to reduce cost on the side of the
So,
customer.
to reduce cost, is it for the customer or the organization?
Oh,
Both.
both
Yes.
direct,
Both.
direct and indirect.
Direct, fine. Then you have to explain in that form. Otherwise, it means that the prices of the item to the customer will be increased if the company is not around. So we want to get the product closer to the customer to reduce
Yes.
the cost burden on the customer, and at the same time the cost burden on the organization.
Mm.
Okay. Okay, that's one. Yes,
Okay,
Yes.
two.
sir.
Fred, I can see your hand. Yes.
Okay, also to expand the business to make their products to be known to the world.
Okay, so business expansion. That's fine. Any other?
Another one will be exposure.
Please, you raise your hand and you talk.
Okay.
Uh-huh. Yes, I can see. Is it Kenneth or what? Kingsley.
Yes, Kingsley, yes, sir.
Okay.
The other one is to increase profits and then to increase customer database.
Which
Okay,
one?
so
You're talking about one. So which one are you talking about?
so increase profit.
How will you
Uh,
increase profit?
Okay, that's what I added the customer base because
It's not customer
if
base. Customer base is different from profit.
no, what I'm trying to explain is that if
Mhm,
your customer increases,
mhm.
that's when product will be patronized.
Okay,
Okay,
so the point will not be increase profit. The point is to increase your customer base.
yes,
Well,
sir.
it's the customer base that you assume are likely to have impact on the profit organization.
Yes,
So it's not like the profits that will lead to increased customer base. No, it's the customer base rather that is assumed, because it's not always true that the larger your customer base, the more profit you get. So it's really assuming. We have companies who have a lot of customers, but they are not making profit, they are making losses. So you can only assume that the higher the customer base, the more profit the organization is likely to get. But that's not
exactly.
all correct. Over times, research has shown that only 20% of organizational customers provide 80% of organization's profits. Only 20%. So it means that it's not the larger customer base that you have that determine your profit level. But you can say that, oh, probably you want to increase profit. So that in case maybe if the customer base increases, you are likely to increase in your profit. But it's not always true. Unless all things being equal, that's why you can have that direct relationship between customer base and profit. But
So
if
let me You
yes,
see, it depends on the product. That's
mm,
where the increase of the customer base will come. Because me, for example, I'm into banking,
mm,
okay, and
mm,
then Barclays Bank comes to Ghana,
mm,
okay, all
mm,
because of customer one. That's
mm,
when you come in for overdraft to get the bank will get some commission, and
mm,
then they will apply request for loan
mm,
facility, then the interest on that way. But if the customer or the database doesn't increase, no
mm,
one will come and say that let me pass my salary through your bank, so that at the end of the month some small charges the bank will charge and they will
no,
use to pay their staff and stuff. So me, I believe that it depends on the product. That's where the customer base will be a factor, because banking, for example, we use customers to build a bank. If you open
no,
a bank and then
you're not getting what I'm saying. No. What I'm saying that I'm not saying that there's no relation between customer base and profits. I'm not saying so. I'm just saying that I'm saying that it is not always true that the higher the customer base, the more profit you get. The example you are giving is you are perfect. You need the customers to build a bank, but you also look at the profitability of the customers you are talking about. For example, if you're a customer, let's say 1 million salary based customers for a bank, let's say bank A, 1 million. Now that amount, one salary is paid, all the 1 million, they all withdraw their money unless the following month. What value do you have in that 1 million customer base? For which a customer of another bank will have a customer, let's say 50,000, and they are investors. and they have money, huge money, staying at the books of the bank for that 1 month. So let's say company B, which one do you think will make more profit? Is that company B? So what I'm just saying is that even though companies go out there to get more customers, so that once they get more customers, they are likely to make profit. I'm not saying that is not correct. I'm only placing a caution that it's not always true that the higher your customer base, the more profit you get. Are you getting me? If not, some companies like some banks like GCB, for example, may not control maybe one to test. Let's say be occupying the third position of the market share of the banking industry. Like Stanbic and Ecobank will not be controlling the market. Because GCB has a larger customer base, more than Ecobank, more than Stanbic. Are you getting the discussion? So it is not always true that the larger your customer base, the more profit that you get. But it can be a point for companies to go out there to increase their customer base, fine, to increase their profit, to increase their share. And then again, for example, we always assume that when there's increase in sales, there will be increase in profit. It is not always true as well. Because if you increase your sales and you don't reduce your cost, your profit can be negative. You can be making more sales, but you can be making losses. Are you following the discussion?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So you can be making more sales, but you can be making more losses because your cost of production is even higher than your sales. So in your books, you can see that sales is increasing, but you're not making more profit. You have to check your cost of operations. So I'm not saying that companies don't want to go outside because they want to increase their customer base. No, those things are all correct. But in reality, when we are explaining, we need to understand that it is not always true that the higher your customer base, the more profit you will get. It's not always true. The more sales you make, the more profit you get. It is not always true. Even the water seller, they can make more sales, but their profit will be something small. It depends. So you have to check your cost of operation. Probably started well. You're using just 2 people to help you cook your water. You're making more sales, making more profit. Now, so because I want to serve my customers faster with the same quantity of rice, you've increased your workforce to 4. Now your cost of operation has increased with the same sales. Definitely, your profit will be affected. The profit can be affected. Okay. So these are some of the reasons why we go international. So we have to protect our market share, to increase our sales, our profit, increase our customer base. They say that
I also want to contribute something. The reason why some countries go abroad,
okay,
when resources are not available at where they are,
okay,
you go to where they can find them.
Yes, that's correct. That's fine. That's fine. So when you don't have resource, raw material for your, at times someone want to site their business closer to where their source of raw material is, so that they can get direct sources for their production. Okay. Any other question? Any other question? Okay. So these are some of the reasons that have been given. So to obtain greater profits, so the desire of every business to make profit for its shareholders. Hence, business will go international or grow to increase their total revenue or reduce cost of production, thereby increasing profit. So they've given us 2 clues here: to increase their total revenue or to reduce their cost of production so that they can increase their profit. Then so to gain access to more reliable or cheaper resources, like we said, some years back, that's why US has some companies in China, because they know that labor in China is cheap. So they go there, they establish their companies, and they use cheap labor in China to produce their goods and services. And most companies also do same. Most companies. So if there are raw materials here in Ghana, and to help them do better in their country, they come and establish a company so they can get cheaper access to raw materials. Then they can continue producing. Then to increase their market share. So Stephen Heyman said companies that expand internationally tend to be oligopolistic That is, they tend to dominate their domestic market, either because their products are highly desirable or because their size let them reap economies of scale. So that is, they are then trying to also arise in foreign competition, then satisfy management desire for expansion. So these are some of the reasons why companies go international. Now, the last component is that they say that why and how business enter into foreign market. How do we businesses enter? So we want to go to US, to UK, to China for international business. What are some of the forms that allow us to do those ones? So one, the first we can do is maybe, and that's the popular ways of entering to a foreign market, is through exporting. It occurs when a business sells its products and sells it to customers in other nations. Export companies try to match buyers and sellers from different countries and provide other services. So they are dealing with the documentations and customer regulations to ease the export of product to the foreign market. So when you try to match buyers and sellers from different countries and provide them with other goods and services, so once you send your product across borders, you are exporting, you are sending it outside. Or you can enter through licensing. So a firm may decide to compete in a growing global market by licensing a foreign company. So this refers to acquiring the right to manufacture its product or use its trademark on a fee. We call it royalty basis. So if you want to enter and you don't have any means, you can license a foreign company. You give your license to them so that they can go into that particular country and produce as a fee. So they use your trademark, and that trademark, the person who is using it has to pay you something small. Or you can do franchising. So either you do licensing or franchising. So this is a form of licensing. So licensing is where you grant access for people to use your trademarks for a fee. And an example of licensing is for you to do what's called franchising. So a type of licensing is what we call franchising. So franchising is the son of licensing. That's what it means. And so this is a form of licensing where when an agreement whereby a business or the franchisor grants another business, the franchisee, the right to use its name, logo, methods of production, advertising, and to sell its products in a given territory in return for financial commitment. So if you look at KFC Ghana and KFC Ghana has received a licensing agreement called the franchising. So that's why you look at, they're using the same name, the same logo, their system of producing their items, their advert, everything, their way of delivery is almost the same. There are only little variations that comes for the domestic environment. But that particular form of business is what we call franchising. It's a way of giving a license to a foreign company to operate. So KFC that we used to know in those developed countries, US, UK, is in Ghana here through that particular agreement. So these are the form. Then the third one, fourth one that I can talk about is creating subsidiaries. So as the size of foreign market expands, a firm may want to establish a foreign subsidiary. So a foreign subsidiary is a company that is owned by another company called the parent company in a foreign country. Okay. Any other question? Any question so far? Any question? Any question so far?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then we also look at, you can also go into other foreign market through contract manufacturing. So it involves a domestic company hiring a foreign company to produce a specified volume of the firm product to specification. The final product bears the domestic firm's brand name or trademark. So if you look at Toyota Ghana, Toyota Ghana, they are assembling cars in Ghana here. Are you aware?
Yes, please.
Yes,
Now,
yes.
now they have, if you look at those cars that they are assembling in Ghana here, they have the Ghana flag embossed on that one to indicate that these cars are assemblies in Ghana. Have you noticed that?
Yes, sir.
Who have seen it?
I.
Uh-huh. So that's what we call the contract manufacturing. Even though it's an assembling, it's part of it. We assume it's manufacturing. So to tell you that those items are manufactured in Ghana here. So if Toyota wanted to come to Ghana, that's another form of entry. And we have Zonda and others also in Ghana here doing same. But it's Toyota that I've seen that they've embossed their cars that have been manufactured in Ghana with the Ghana flag to let people know that it's part of the contract manufacturing way of entering. Are you following the discussion?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Now let's look at the other one, joint venture. So it's a partnership agreement among business for the purpose of achieving mutual access in a particular market or industrial sector, especially to do projects they could not handle alone. An example is the merger between the two mining companies in South Africa and Ghana, which created what we call the Anglo Gold Ashanti.
Ashanti.
So that's joint venture. And you have a Guinness Ghana Limited. You know Guinness Ghana? Guinness is from South Africa, right? Or where?
I thought Guinness was Ghanaian. It was from
No,
Ghana.
From UK, the UK, Ireland.
Ireland, yes. Guinness is from Ireland. Guinness is from Ireland. Then you know it merged with one company the one at Achimota. Is it Accra Brewery or Achimota Breweries?
Accra Brewery.
That's Accra Brewery.
Yes, it's around Achimota, mile 7 area.
7. But what are the one that are around UTC? That's what. That's Ghana Brewery Limited. That's GBL.
I don't know much about that one.
You don't know the one that those that produces the Accra Brewery, the Achimota one. They were producing Club or Star.
Guinness. Malta Guinness.
You are not getting what I'm saying.
No, the Accra Brewery, they are producing the club. And it's like Kumasi Brewery, they are producing the Guinness, you know.
No,
but there's one at Achimota.
The Achimota one is the one that has been merged with Guinness Ghana Limited.
Oh, okay.
So now I don't have the Achimota Brewery anymore. It happened more than 10 years ago.
Oh, okay.
So Guinness went into partnership with the Achimota. That's what we call it, Guinness Ghana Limited.
Ghana Limited, yeah.
You know, first, so just Guinness, it's Guinness something limited. Then when they merged, the other one couldn't take. So they were not taking the names off totally, and they were maintaining the product as well. You know, they were producing what we call is it the Amstel malt? You remember Amstel malt?
Yes.
Yeah, so, for.
So the Amstel malt. Yes, Amstel malt. So the Amstel malt, they were producing Amstel malt either with Star or Club. This is Club. They're producing Amstel malt with Club. Then we have Guinness and the Guinness malt. So they traded one. So the Amstel malt was not doing well. They were not doing well. So, but the Club was doing well. That's why the Amstel malt, you can't see the Amstel malt on the market anymore. So they sacrificed the Amstel malt with their plants. So Guinness is there, and they're also in Kumasi. You know, Guinness was in Accra and Kumasi already before they merged. So they merged. That's why they left the name Guinness Ghana Limited. So they have that component of the Achimota breweries and the component of Guinness also. So that's partnership. And you have a lot of companies that are going to partnership. If you look at Airtel Tigo, that's when I have 80. Airtel Tigo, the same thing. It's joint venture.
So please, the mining sector, Goldfields Ghana, is it?
Goldfields Ghana is totally Ghanaian.
Okay.
It's totally a Ghanaian old company. Even though we can have foreign investment in them, if the name changes, because once they go into joint ventureship, definitely the title of the organization will also need to change.
Okay.
And that's so if you have money, or if you know somebody,
locally partnership.
Go for a partnership.
Okay.
Go for unless probably you can't even keep your names separately when it comes to partners. Definitely there should be some joint name that you use. Are you okay?
Yes, please.
So now you see, now you have even companies like a group of companies, like just one groups of companies. These are all joint ventureship. So they have foreign nationals who want to come from China, from Thailand. You know, he's also into rice production. Are you aware?
Yes.
So he has partners from China, and they are going to their rice activity. They fall
Yes,
under
sir.
some groups of companies, and you have someone into waste management,
Yeah.
liquid waste, solid waste,
Banking.
banking. He's also into banking.
Yeah.
He's also into computer something. So you see, these are all joint ventureship, and they form under that big umbrella, just one group of companies with different groups under them. So for example, if somebody in US want to come to Ghana, but they don't know how they want to come. Okay, let me go and attach
Now they're
myself to
living in Nigeria.
They are in Nigeria. They are in 25 countries, African countries. So I see that, oh, this company is moving.
Okay, sir.
Yes, I said.
With respect to just one group of companies, example you just cite, can we consider the individual companies in it as subsidiaries to that of the just one groups?
Yes, you are right. They are subsidiaries.
Oh, okay.
And they are subsidiaries not only in Ghana here, but in other countries.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you pick the entire operation of just one, and they're in other countries. That becomes subsidiary. But not just only in Ghana. If only in Ghana, they can't tell them as subsidiaries.
Noted,
Are you,
sir.
are you okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any other question? Any other question? Okay. So these are the various ones by which we can enter into foreign market. These are very. Any questions so far? Any questions so far? Any questions so far? Are we done for unit 1?
No, sir.
Where does unit 1 ends?
Section 6.
We haven't touched the drivers of an international.
Very good. So that will be the next thing that we'll be discussing. So we are going to discuss the drivers. What is driving us into do business across the frontiers of this country? What is driving us? What is pushing us out? Are those pushers good pushers, or they are not good pushers? So those are the things that we are going to look at after the first component. Okay. Please, can you see my slides?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. So we are looking at the other phase of our discussion. When you're looking at the nature of international business, then those things that are driving us into international business. So we see there are 5 major kinds of forces driving the global phenomenon, and that's what we discussed earlier on, but we didn't talk about few of them. So we are talking about political forces, technology, the market, and the cost and competition. So we talk about politics. If restrictions have been removed, trade quotas have been removed, barriers and those things are giving us freedom. A lot of people want to go global. There's advance in technology usage. So we can be here, we can source items from different countries. These things help us to go international or we go to markets. When the domestic market is choked or saturated, but there are bigger markets out there that we can take advantage of. These things help us to go international. Or we want to reduce our cost of production and make more profit. These are the forces that are driving us to go global. And the last one is competition. If we want to protect our market, we want to get more market share, we want to control the market, we want to defend our market, then we are likely to send our businesses across the frontiers of this continent. So we are talking about political. It's especially information technology is creating a trend towards socialization and unification of international community. So there are no boundaries now. So you have EU, you have NAFTA, you have ECOWAS, and all these things, they present a good opportunities for members in these countries. So we have ECOWAS, you have NAFTA. NAFTA is not African Free Trade Association. So there you have the European Union and others. They have technology. So it's advance in computers and communication technology are permitting an increased flow of ideas and information across borders, enabling customers to learn about foreign goods and services. That's the second. Then you have market. The business globalized, that is go international. They also become global customers. So they are global. As we sit here, are you not buying items from China, US, UK? It's because of technology, and now we become part of the global customers. So if our home market is saturated, we need to send our companies into foreign markets so that we can break through our market that is saturated. Then we want to reduce our cost of production. And the last one, if you want to compete, if the competition is so intense, it's if the kitchen is hot, you walk out from the kitchen. So the moment you are cooking and think the kitchen is hot, you will continue to stay at the kitchen. Won't you go out for fresher air? You have to go out. So that's what that popular saying, that if the kitchen is hot, you need to step out more. So competition continues to increase in intensity. So business in attempt to defend their home market from competitors have entered the competitors' home market to distract them. So the best way of defense is to attack. The best form of defense is to attack. So if you don't want your competitors to overtake your market share, you need to attack them in their home grounds. Now, so what are some of the hurdles when it comes to international business? So before a business enters into a new market or environment, it's necessary to analyze that environment, what we call the SWOT analysis. And SWOT is determined by strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat. And you did this one when you were doing international principle of marketing. So you learned how to do your SWOT analysis. So look at the economic environment, political, technology, social, and problem with currency shifts. All these things are things outside the control organization, and they serve as threats or opportunities. And also discuss about the internal one. So this example, economic activities, economic forces. So we have variables that pose as threats, opportunities, threat, economic growth. So now we are saying that our economy is growing. Now our debt to GDP is 42 point something percent of GDP. It's reducing, which is good. If the economy is growing 4 point something percent, 5%, it's fine. Inflation. So the lesser the inflation, the better it is. The higher the inflation, the worse it becomes. So when you are explaining these items, you don't just explain it in one form. You look at both sides, then can draw your conclusion. So a higher GDP to debt is worse, but a lower GDP to debt is better. But if you have a good economic growth rate, if the economy is growing at 6%, 8%, 10%, the economy is good and it's good for businesses. If your inflation is reducing as it's reducing now, we are not saying that as inflation is reducing, price of goods and services will reduce. No, price of goods and services will continue to increase, but the rate of its increment has been slow to 4 point something percent. That's what they are talking about. We are not saying that when inflation is coming down, price of goods and services will fall. No. We are just saying that price of goods and services will rise, but the rate of increase has been slowed by 4 point something percent. The interest rate, the lesser interest rate, the better for organizations. When unemployment rate is low, it's better. If it's high, it's bad. When there are tax exemptions, when the value of your currency is becoming stronger, as we experienced last year with our CD dollar, that's what the economy, to economists are saying that the economy is doing a bit okay. It's okay. Virtually, some of the goods and services have been reduced drastically. We only pray that the finance minister and his team will continue to manage the economy. If it goes like this, I think all of us will be a bit okay. If you're having something small, you can still enjoy life. They have exchange rate and many more. So all these things are part of economic hurdles And we talk about political variables. So political stability, they all have effects on the technology and others. So you've spoken about this. The last one to talk about is the problem of currency safety. So there's no acceptable universal currency. That's people always trade in different currencies. Ghanaian shop with CD, German shops with euro, South Koreans they with won, British with pounds, and US with dollars. So since you don't have universal currency, definitely when there's currency shift in honor of the other trading partner, it affects the domestic activities. Then also some of the inherent problems that affect international business is time and distance. Is key. Time and distance. The hurdles that you need to cross. How many minutes, how many years will it take you? How many months? And how long is it for you to send item from China to Ghana, from US to Ghana? So these are also inherent problems that we need to also think about. They're talking about differences in laws and customs. So differences in laws and customs are also key. Documentation issues. How difficult is it for you to prepare a document before? Is it so simple? You have to go through a lot of stages. And what are the government regulations when it comes to international business? They have exchange control regulations. Exchange control regulations. What is the future of international business? So the technology and the future of international business. Advanced communication has made global market accessible instantly. So businesses operating in the international arena are doing all within their means to lure most of over 6 billion people dwelling the face of the planet Earth currently. So because of technology, there's a global market which is easily accessible and is helping us to make sure that international business is a going concern and to continue to flourish. Then also international business matters are rising. Globalization is also helping, and it has come in 4 major characters. First, it involves a stretch on social culture and economic activity across frontiers, regions, and continents. First, some continents, some countries were holding international business, or they will not even allow you to do so, but now they are relaxing on their social phenomenon. Until recently, countries like Saudi Arabia, were not allowed to even drive. But last 3 years, last 2 years, they passed a law that now grant women to now drive. So if you're in a car manufacturing country, it's an opportunity for you. Some were not even allowed to wear trousers, jeans, stripe, but now they are relaxing their social and cultural norms. So these are what we are talking about. So once these things are being relaxed, it gives a brighter future to international business activities. It can also be linked with the growing intercontinental and flow of trade, investment, and finance and migration. Then it's also associated with the development of worldwide system of transport and communication links. So now transportation and communication between continents becoming so simple. That's why you can order items within 2 weeks, you get it here in Ghana. At times within few days, you get it here in Ghana. That's the communication transportation link. It's pushing the future of international business to a different level. Then we are saying that, and lastly, the growing intensity of global interactions, exchange of ideas, information and technological innovations and inventions are all helping for the growth of international business. Okay. What are some of the advantages? What are some of the advantages of international business? So there are some advantages. One, it increases free trade between countries, which is key. So international business, it increases free trade because restrictions have been taken off. So once we are sending it helps us, it increases our trade. Then corporations have greater flexibility to operate across borders. So you are not stuck to your domestic environment alone. You now have various opportunities, various options. So the corporation have greater flexibility to operate. So if your raw materials that you are sourcing from Ghana is bringing you a challenge, transaction in raw materials is part of international business. You can source it from us to augment what we are doing. That's why most of our cement manufacturing companies in Ghana here, they source their raw materials from outside. Some particular materials are sourced from outside, and that gives them the opportunity. And there's global mass media ties the world together. Now, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, WhatsApp, whatever. We're in a global village. Thank God it's mass media that people producing in other countries, we can see them here. Things that have been sold in different countries, we can see them here. So these things are helping. They have increased flow of communication, which allow vital information to be shared between individuals and corporations around the world. Now, at the click of the button online, if you see an item from a particular company, you can find out more about the product, and instantly information is given to you. Instant information is given to you. And all these things is helping the future of international business. There's greater ease and speed of transporting of goods. I spoke about that. Then there's reduction of cultural barriers. It's key, which is increasing global village service. Now, if we even think of tourism, which is service, for which we spoke about as part of international transaction. Because of cultural barriers, now Saudi Arabia is open, Dubai is open, people can go there, enjoy life. We know that Dubai is an Islamic country, but people from other European and American countries go there freely. So they've relaxed their culture barriers. So things that at first you can't wear in Dubai, Saudi Arabia, now some of them have been relaxed. Things that you can't do, now they've relaxed some of the cultural demands. They need to go straight by this, by that. So all these things are helping. So the future of international business is still bright. Then there's greater interdependence of nation states. Now, every nation needs a particular nation to survive. You can't just say that I can do it alone. You need another country to survive. And every country has what they are unique in producing. So you need to depend. Whilst I have gold to offer you, you have rights to offer me. So the greater interdependence of nation states, the higher international business activities. Now, Ghana here, I will not depend on Cuba to train our doctors, more doctors for us. And Cuba also depend on us. US of all can't say that they can depend on any nation state to survive. They are dependent on other nations to survive. The same way other nations also depend on US to survive. And once it continues like that, the future of international business is great. The future of international business is great. Now, what are some of the disadvantages of international business? One, there's increased flow of skilled and unskilled jobs from developed to developing nations as corporations seek out the cheapest labor. So if you're not careful, it's likely to crash your labor market. So there's increased flow of skilled and non-skilled jobs. That's why we are always complaining the Chinese have taken over. The Chinese have taken over. It's because of international trade, international business. We can't ask them to go. Then it's increased likelihood of economic disruption in one nation. So we're talking about the oil producing nations. And once we are part of them, so Ghana, we are part of the oil producing countries. And if there's some disruptions in the oil market, it also affects us. Somebody say, why that we are producing, we are not refining it ourselves. The moment you are discovered as oil producing country, you join the association and they determine the production rate and where the crude is sent to. So even if you want to process your own crude, you need to buy the crude and come and refine for your people. That's what it means. So you produce first, send it to the world market, and now go and buy, and now come and process. So when they are disrupting the world market when it comes to oil, we are affected. You can see that because I'm producing oil, I'll not send and I'll manufacture, I'll refine the crude so that my citizens will be better off. It doesn't happen in that form. International business, it doesn't happen in that form. There's a corporate influence of nation states for far exceed that of civil society organization. So that one is key. Once the company is in Ghana here and they are producing gas, providing services, I think they have influence on states and they think about their home country, living the society where the organization is operating, and it affects us. And so for this company, they're only interested in what they want. It's not that because of international business, it's because of international business. Then they are threat that control of world media by harmful of cooperation, and that will limit cultural expression. Okay. Any question? Any question? Any question? Any question, please? Any question? Hello, do I have my student online?
Yes, please.
Yes, sir. We are
Yeah.
here.
Okay.
We are following. We are following.
Okay. Okay.
Because, sir,
I can hear you.
yes, it's just that I'm understanding because I have always been criticizing that why is it that we are producing this oil, but
Oil.
we still have to sell it outside to go and buy to come and even work on it. I didn't understand, but with this course, it has just opened my eyes in some aspects.
So see how the thing is. So if politicians are standing and they are making points, you know that they know, but they don't want to tell us the truth.
Yes.
Sir,
So
I
so
have a
as so as I'm coming, so as the oil has started refining the oil, the crude. That's what is happening. That's what they say they need more money.
Yes.
Why are they asking for money? Because they want to buy more crude and refine it to be cheaper. Because this one they only incur a few times because from Takoradi to Tema, how many minutes? It will be cheaper to buy from Takoradi. So instead of let's say the 100,000 barrels that they have to now go to the world market before they now go and buy and come. Now it will just come from Takoradi straight to Tema.
Yes.
But you can't buy below the price level, the world crude price level. You can't buy below that, thinking that because you are producing, okay, they should give it to you as free range. No, you can't do that. Because of international business, you need to, even if your citizens are suffering, you need to succumb to that particular thing. You can say
Okay.
that, I will
Okay,
not.
sir. With this example of the oil refinery,
Mm,
you know, Ghana, we are into agreements and we
mm,
have some percentages that come to the country. Can we
yes.
also enter into agreement that our portion of whatever we would derive, we would take that one and refine it here, or we still have to sell it to the international market before we buy it again?
So you can't do individual. The only portion you can take is the portion that they've given unto you. You can change that one into crude if you want. So
Okay.
if they're giving you 10%, that's your royalty.
Okay.
You can say that, okay, the 10% convert 5% into crude and give it to me. But aside the percentage that I've assigned to you, all the other one, you can't go into agreement that you're giving to you because it's part of the global. So you have to buy.
Wow.
So yeah, so as a country, you have to buy. That's why they say they need money. So the money that they are looking for is for them to buy so that they can buy more. They can buy more.
It's well noted.
Can I
Yes.
go ahead with my worries?
Okay, yes, your question.
What do you say about the vertical integration within the oil industry? I know some countries they can't produce and refine their own oil. So what do you have to say about that one? Just like Ghana can produce its oil and refine it, and it's referred to as the vertical integration. So what is it? I don't understand it.
But are we here at vertical integration and you are achieving vertical integration?
No,
Then
the concern was that we have to sell the oil to them and go and buy to come and refine. That is what I'm getting from what you are saying. But I am
Yes.
saying that what about those countries that they produce and refine their own oil?
Yeah, so we are not saying you can't produce and refine your own oil. We are not that's not what we are saying. We are always saying that once you are part of the international company, we are talking about the increased likelihood of economic disruption.
Okay.
We are talking about increased likelihood of economic disruption in one nation affecting other nations. Are we not here that we hear that those in the Asia, the Arab world, they want to cut production? If they cut production, what happens? It doesn't matter other countries producing oil. The other countries are producing oil, refined oil. I didn't affected.
They will.
Yes. So it doesn't matter you are producing, you are refining your own oil. Definitely what you are doing cannot. You need support from others. And once you are identified as oil producing country, you are part of them. You are part of them. When COVID came, we were not affected.
We were.
We were affected. We were affected. So Ukraine and Russia, their conflict, we were affected because they give us items. We also exporting items to other countries. Now the US is giving tax increases to countries and others. Are we also being affected? We'll be affected. Even if they don't tax us, they don't increase the tax requirement for us, and they increase tax requirement for China, definitely cost of production in China will go up and it will affect us. That's what I think, because we are importing from China, we are importing from the US, we are importing from other European countries. So it's not really about oil, we are looking about other international business activities.
Okay.
Are you okay now? So for the vertical and horizontal, whatever, they are there. In principles, it happens. If you think that I can go back to my raw materials, get it, and refine as store is doing now, it's good. But you don't forget that there's international requirements that you need to meet. So you have to buy. Unless all the machines and the system that they are using to extract the oil from the ground is born by you. There's no international company, it's you. That one, domestically, you are doing everything by yourself. Only you be any asset, you don't have problem with anybody. But where you have international investment, and we talk about investment, the rate that we are using is not for you. The FPSO that we are using is not for you. It's for international organizations. And that is part of international business. So if it's not for you, domestically, what control do you have? That's why look at the person they are giving us as royalties. So unless, if we want to go into that, unless as a country, we sacrifice and buy a rig, that's the FPSO one, to extract a particular well on our own, that one, there's no foreign participant, and that's domestically fully for us. That we can just extract and send to Tor for Tor to manufacture, refine, and bring it to our market for us to buy. Until then, we have to manage this. Are you okay now?
Yeah, it's clear. It's clear now.
Okay. Any question? Any question? Any question? So another example is when bird flu came. You remember some years back we had bird flu issue. It affected us. It affected us. The international bodies like World Trade Organization, IMF, they infringe a lot of national issues on national sovereignty. As we speak, IMF is here in Ghana here, and they are managing the economy for us. So all these things affect us. There's an increase in the chance of civil war within developing countries, and open war between developing countries are also things that affect resources. Then the last one is increase in pollution in all forms. So these are hurdles that we are likely to face, and this is the future advantage that we have when it comes to international business, and these are some of the disadvantages that we have when it comes to international business. Okay. Any question? Any question? Any question so far? Any question? Any question? Any question, please? Any question? Any question so far? Any question? Yes, I'm waiting for my question. Any question? Yes, any question? Okay. So if there are no questions, and I think we can bring the class to an end, and see you another time. That'll be next weekend, right?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Yes,
Okay. Okay. So I wish you all the best and have a lovely Sunday.
Okay,
Thank
very
you.
grateful for your
Okay.
time.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Same to you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.